there, welcome to my channel. I'm Wandering Ananda, and this is the story of my journey car camping with my cat in one of the smallest SUVs ever made, a 2000 Toyota RAV4, which is smaller than the newer model. So to save money, I was hoping that in addition to free BLM camping, I'd be able to stay at remote forest dispersed camping sites. On my way to LA from Joshua Tree, I decided to check out Thomas Hunting Ground Yellow Post site in the San Bernardino forest. But not only was the grade of the road more severe than I anticipated, but the expected dirt road was full of holes and rocks so big I didn't want to come crashing down on them. I probably would have been fine, but with 6 more miles of it to go, it was pretty scary. So after about a mile up, I turned around because I didn't want to end up stranded on the edge of a mountain. And besides, there was no cell service and there'd be no escaping any potential danger in the middle of the night. But I wish I would have had the presence of mind to at least take a photo of the forest road because I was so tired from waking up at 5:30 and I needed to get on the road ASAP to my backup camp, which was over a couple of hours away, since I hadn't been able to get a hold of the ranger at Whitewater for a reservation, which was expecting high wind anyway. A very long drive to my backup camp at Coldwater Canyon in Angeles National Forest was beautiful. I arrived to a nearly empty camp where I had my pick of sites because at this point it was before Memorial Day weekend. I drove around it twice, but the spot I really wanted was in direct line of what turned out being the camp host. The spot I chose was pretty good, close to ideal, except for the car headlights and people's headlamps through my window at night, which appear to be an issue at most campsites, the way that they're set up and angled and looped, and not particularly friendly for car campers, because if you have just a tent, sometimes you can hide behind things. Coldwater Canyon has 3 camping loops with pit toilets in each area and is $20 a night, but there's no cell service. So in this case, it was a positive because my first night was serene. I just rested and I woke up to the coldest morning in the car, which was 46 degrees. So I spent the day pretty much just snuggling under the covers and resting and enjoying not being hot for a while. On the second morning, I woke up to a wet camp and rain, which woke me up at 4 a.m. and then again at 5:30, and I couldn't go back to sleep. But despite the rain, I would have stayed longer, but I was eager to get my solar panel and move up the coast before Memorial Day weekend. Never thought I'd miss the desert, even with its wind and heat, but there was something so tranquil about the wide open space, although I do love me some trees and birds and crickets. I especially like the sound of frogs. I just wish there was more space and privacy around campsites. But thankfully, people at this forest campground were relatively quiet and silent after 10. And as it turns out, most campgrounds are pretty good at enforcing quiet hours. And overall, I've been sleeping better than in any shared wall dwelling situation. Sometimes I feel like I'm crazy for embarking on this adventure. Other times I wonder what took me so long, and that it's the best decision I've made in a long while. It's much more challenging with my current setup, especially with my needy cat, but for now, it's all I've got to work with. In the future, I'd love to be able to get a reliable van. Otherwise, I'll be looking to Airbnbs for the winter, or more likely, a cheap travel trailer or larger vehicle to park at an LTVA or other desert land for a fee, or maybe I'll go to Baja. But prices, as everyone knows, has been out of control, so we'll see what happens. And I don't yet have stable internet access to find work. And honestly, I've been looking for a remote job forever, and I don't know, I just can't seem to find anything. And I'm pretty burned out on that whole situation. So join me next time as I drive through LA and camp in Oak Flat Campground in another part of the Angeles National Forest. Happy travels. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to follow me on this journey into the desert and beyond as I drive up the coast of California in my tiny SUV.